start our session. So as I mentioned previously, we did a couple sessions with our students as well, but it will be the this kind of the webinar with everyone, and then we invited from all the batches. As you see, we also invited from the alumni channel as well, the people, and because it's we see that it will be great motivation for everyone, and where they see that even this is the difficult times, right? Specifically in all over the world, I guess people are saying that there is recessions, and like there are some basically news about that. And like during this time, so you were able to find a job, and we will just basically talk about your experience. How did you find how the process it worked for you and all those things. And I will go over to this, basically the information, and then I want to get like more about yourself. And my name is David. I'm the co-founder of Techtorial Academy, and so we are going to be doing this session today with Alex Reva. And Alex, can you please tell about yourself a little bit and kind of your background, what you were doing previously, and how you come to the Techtorial?
Okay, thank you, David, for the opportunity to speak today. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Reva. I'm originally from Ukraine, like living in the United States for like 7 years. And I came to Techtorial from like construction industry. I did roofing for like 5 years. And I mean, coding is something new for me, totally. I never touched it before. And it was like, I thought about this long time, to make this decision, because it's kind of hard, change something totally different to coding. And I speak with a lot of people before I start, and I try to choose between different boot camps. And one of the students of Techtorial, I had ability to talk with her. It's Ajray Eshembetova, and she said that she finished Techtorial successfully and found a job. She told me, and she recommended me that she said that all mentors are good at helping through difficult times, and which is true. I know it's on my experience right now, because every time when I need help, like doesn't matter, it's a coding problem through the education process, or like interview question, I find an answer. If I'm not able to find myself, mentors will helping me. So I mean, did I answer all questions, David? I'm sorry.
Yes. I mean, it's fine. So you answered, and thank you for that. I guess like it is the great start. So you mentioned pretty much like you had no, like when you come to the school, right, you had no IT background. So did you like previously study some coding or something, or so you were like started from zero?
Yeah, basically from zero. But when I signed the contract, I figured out that I need to watch some videos on YouTube about coding. So I tried to learn Java before. I mean, like 2 weeks before the education process. It didn't help me, because I mean, I didn't know basics. So it was like a lot of things was not understandable for me. But when I started, when I started the education process, it was nice, because the information kind of I mean, the way mentors bring the information to us, it works well for me. And once I put my effort for studying, it was helpful, because I was able to understand something, only with keep practicing, because basically it was like no coding. And at this time, at the beginning, I understood that logic is much important, like how you think and how you find solution, how you looking for that, like you try different ways. And also I tried to set up like my mindset this way, that I'm trying to find it first and then ask question. I mean, I did ask a bunch of questions about coding Yusuf. I mean, a bunch of questions, but every time before I ask, I try to do it myself. And I ask him like, show me, don't tell me the answer, but show me the way how I do it. And
Yes.
this was helpful, because I mean, I'm not asking to like, bring me fish to the table. I'm asking, to show me how to fishing, how do you find it? How do you, I mean, I tried to, I mean, I was not successful with it, but I was trying to think same way he thinking, or the other people who teaching me, how they thinking, like I try to copy it, so that's what I tried to do.
Okay, awesome. I mean, that's actually, yeah, I all the time recommend like the people. I say sometimes they come with the issues. They said, "Hey, my Selenium code is not working. Like I'm not able to open the Chrome. So, or when I go to website, it is like not sending the key for like username and password." So, and they're coming, and then when we fix, let's say they sometimes they don't even take a look at the solution that we did it. Like so once it is working, it is fine for them. But I all the time like recommend them, hey, like this is what I did, what I implemented, and you need to know it because now yes, your code is working, but tomorrow you might be facing the same issue. And always, right? So you cannot go and then ask someone, hey, like for same issues, the same thing, like right. So today you learn from your mistakes or what you did, and then tomorrow you should be able to do it by yourself. Otherwise, like after 10 years, like what will happen if you have a problem? So will you be able to like really be basically trying to find someone to fix your code? I mean, those like, yeah, you're right. So it will be like, it should be helpful a lot, like to learn, trying to learn during the courses, because starting from the first day, so you are learning new things, you are learning new information, which is totally different than what you were doing previously. And this is, I guess, like good part that you mentioned, specifically that, hey, like when I have an issue or when I stuck in some places, even I am asking the question, I was like, okay, just show me how you did it. And this is, I guess, like it will be good recommendation for everyone, like who is basically either on
Or,
the
or,
market or
or
getting
like,
classes
or,
currently.
or like a good question, like give me an idea where to looking for. This is a good question, I believe, because this way you still searching, like you still in search, even you don't have answer right away, but you will find it.
Mhm. So uh, I have another question. So like what led you to start the course, like start the IT career? And also I guess I all the time believe, and in info sessions also I mentioned many times, I believe that this the course, like studying 6 months, is one dedication, right? You dedicate your time, and then also you're supposed to have this motivation all the time to learn the IT, right? Learn the tools, like whatever you are learning. It can be DevOps tools, it can be other tools. So there should be the same motivation for you, like before starting the course, right? And to start IT. And also there should be another motivation for you. Maybe the same, it can be the same motivation after you start your school, the course, and then it will keep you study all the time. So what was that actually? Like I'm looking for some motivation, like what it was for you.
Like the key for motivation, like for me it was like, you know uh I came to United States for have better opportunity in life. So it's
Okay.
first, and I was always looking for some opportunity, even doesn't matter where I am, Before start this course, I taught a lot of times before even start because my English is not perfect. Like on the first week, I write down like 250 new words on English. I didn't even understood everything which which was which mentors was talking about, and I tried to translate everything. It was a bunch of information for me because, like I say, I came from construction. It's not, they not required good English over there. For me, like it's a bunch of things. Things. It's my family at first because I have my parents who I need to take care of. I have my wife who I need to take care of. I plan a kids in the future. So think about all of that, and realize how short our life period is. I always stay motivated, doesn't matter what. And even to I see a bunch of people have problems with Java on beginning because something not understandable, and like this is moment when they start thinking more about, oh, am I good for this or not? You all good for this. We just need put effort on achieve our goals, I believe, and keep going, because it's, you know, like yesterday I was 21, today I'm 28, tomorrow I'm gonna be 40. So it's going so quick. Every day, every year, your mind kind of keep changing, and it's really I I understand why David asked this question. It's really hard to stay motivated, but if you keep your goals on top of everything else, doesn't matter what, you will keep going. Because I know what I'm speaking about, because I faced a lot of issues on my way. I mean, it is a war in my country. It is already a big problem. I mean, I've been in auto accident through this education with my wife. It was really bad. And it's like, you know, a lot of things happened through the education, and I will still keep going because in my mind, I got to set up to success for success, and doesn't matter what. I had a pause, I had a break, then I recapping, you know, so I missed something. So it's like it's one main question: you want it or you don't want it, and what you're gonna do for it. So to me, it's like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the people, all the people has different motivation, but since our, I guess, like most of the students are immigrant, so all of them, they are coming to the United States like for better life, like you mentioned. And but instead of like, as you know, also like we come, and I have been in that process as well. Yeah, I came to the United States. I was also like making in the beginning, like this is, I guess, for all the immigrants in initial process. So I was like making very less amount of money. Yes, when you compare with your, maybe like with our own countries, it's more, or it looks like more in the beginning. But you are like, with that amount of money, you are most of the time living with living with the below the average, I guess. So especially in the beginning, right? And so those things, I guess, like when you start maybe working in IT, and with the salaries which the companies are paying, and I guess it is good motivation for the people, specifically once they start, like they can at least do something. And from my side, like starting IT, it shows me that I can do anything. And also when I watch some successful people, or who achieved some things in their life, and then like they are saying that if I lose everything today, and then I have that motivation, or I have that things that I can start everything from beginning, and I will be able to again succeed, because they believe themselves. And this is like, for me, the IT give me the get that motivation that I can do. If I am able to start in one of the IT company, I can do anything what I want. So yeah, this is like the great things that you mentioned as well. And so the thing is, how was your experience after starting the course?
I think I a little bit mentioned this already. It was really good because after I started the course, I faced some situations when I was not able to solve it myself. So every time I'm asking for help, I received that help from all mentors. And even sometimes I write at nighttime, because sometimes, you know, my schedule was not perfect because I've been working and studying. So like through the week, I think my studying took like between 40 to 60 hours, and same thing for work. So like basically I didn't have another free time for anything else, I mean, in my schedule. And sometimes I write messages like at 2 o'clock at nighttime, and even that time mentors was able to, you know, answer, you know. So it's like I mean, it is true that they help 24/7. I think it's really true, because I mean, in my experience, it was like that. I mean, and another thing I think is important to mention is I find out it's really interesting for me, even though, you know, learning Java, it's first programming language, and sometimes on basic information, it's kind of, I mean, to be honest, to me, it was sometimes boring, but, you know, like when you come to the action, like when you start using it, it's become more interesting. It's how it was for myself, you know. And I was wait for the moment when it's become more interesting for myself, because in the beginning it was kind of slow for me. I was like still thinking like, am I good for this? Is it for me or something? I was like kind of between. But then when action start, I find out it's interesting for me, because I mean, if I can automate something which another person will do manually. It's wow. I mean, save a lot of time. You know, like you just write program and do it for you. So I mean, I find out it's really interesting for myself, and I think it's a good um suggestion to be interested of something all the time, you know, like doesn't matter what you're doing, just you know, like ask questions, like because it might look like it's not that much interesting, but when you start digging more and see how it is works, how, you know, like how it is help people, you know, like any sides of that, you might love it, you know. Try to love what you do. That's what I try to say. You know, I try to, even through the construction business, I try to do it all the time. And like David say, after he find the first job, he feel like he can do anything. I was feel this on construction because construction was tough. It was Florida, it's hot weather. I was on roof industry every day. You burning, and to me it was like, if I can do this, I can do everything else. So yeah. So try to love what you're doing. I think it's basic key, I think.
Awesome. So, like, let's say during the course, when like there are some tools that we are teaching, it's difficult, right? When you have a difficulties to like maybe understanding a topic, what did you do like to understand it more or improve yourself?
I think the best way it's like try to understand first, like what you need to do, how you will do it. Like this is the main keys, because before if you not figure it out, I mean you will start, but then you'll just learn as it go. But I mean it's not always better. I think better is just maybe if you don't understand what it is about, try to watch it one more time, and then at evening time try to practice more. Like it was really hard for me to find time for practice because like I mentioned, I've been working also, and I believe a lot of students been through this, and it's always hard to find a time. But I think also one important thing, try to switch like between, like if you have ability to work couple hours, then study couple hours, then work couple hours, like, you know, it's helpful for your mind to get relaxed a little bit and then come back. Don't be sitting like for 10 hours straight with like one line. It's not productive. I mean, I figured out that I need to you know, like kind of have right mindset, because I have really short of time and I need to find the right way, you know. So yeah, I think like the better thing is just keep repeating, keep learning, and if you cannot understand the whole things, try to at least understand a little part of it and go step by step.
Okay, so the question is, let's say, what was the most challenging the part during the course for you? The tools that you learned, like which one was the challenging one?
I'm say I had problems with even, you know, database. It's easy, I think, right now, but when I started database and API, I had difficulties with that. But I'm blame on my personal situation, because I mean it was something happened and I was not able to spend the amount of time which I spent for studying on beginning of course. I really believe if everything be okay with my personal situation, I don't think I'll have any problems, because any problem coming, I try to solve it. So if I don't understand something, I try to understand. But I think API, I think it's most hardest to understand for me through the course. I don't know why. I don't have a you know answer for it. I don't know why it was hard for me, but it was hard. And when I recap, I didn't understood first time, then I recap again and again until I finally have a clue. And actually, I have a better understanding through the interviews, because once they start asking questions, I kind of understand what it is for, you know, and I like, okay, Alex. And then I realize how stupid I was when I answer on some questions, but it's okay, you know, it's all experience.
So I mean, I guess like most of the students has the same part, like they are having the difficulties to learn the API, because you are starting Selenium. When you start Selenium, you can visualize something. You can see that, okay, this code is going to the website and I'm doing something. But when it comes to the API, so you don't, like, you write the code, but you don't see the directly actions like Selenium. And that's why it is a little bit like difficult. but when you learn, and like maybe you will start working in the company, right? So when you learn the API, like how to test it, you believe me, it is way better than Selenium, because or doing the Selenium automation. In Selenium automation, there are a lot of dependencies. You need to go to website, like find the elements. It will fail, it will open late or something, but you will not have this kind of problems when you like do the API testing. Okay, so and another thing is, actually you mentioned, I asked this question, but like what, so you mentioned a lot of things, but maybe I can add on top of that, like what did you do during the course to learn it better? And I know, like, so you were very active during the classes, and so Slack has 3 months limitation, like it will be deleted all the basically messages. But I even remember, like, when we created first groups, and then you were lead in your group, and so in that, like the group, so you were asking like, okay, how can I make it more effectively? I know even like you were continue to organize these meetings with your team meetings. I guess like your team was one of the active team during maybe the Techtorial history, and where the online students is collaborate like a lot. So they have a lot of meetings, they collaborate together, they work together, they do like, I don't know, so you like maybe projects together. So like how did you do that actually? Like what was the things that you were able to collaborate your team and then work together? So like how did you do that?
I mean, I mean, through the course, I really feel like I wish to success for all the group members. I really, like I really feel like I want the everybody get success. And I heard from the beginning of the course that we need to collaborate, we need to keep working together, and I believe it's helpful because through these sessions we learn from each other. And like I try to always speak about like how important to have more meetings through the week. Even it was I was not that successful, I believe, like, but we we did some meetings through the week. And even though we have different schedule, different different works, like everybody, like someone have like 5 kids, and it was tough to find a time, but we've been working to find a time to spend time with each other, because I think it was really important. Once we did a lot of things. We did projects together. We did try to prepare each other to the interviews, like ask questions. Through the list of questions, we go like I ask one question to the next person ask the next person answer, and then ask another person the question, and we analyze what is the answer. Maybe if someone have add something, they add something on top of the answer, like, so we kind of learn from each other, because everybody remember just some part of the of the actual answer. And that was really helpful, because more you speak about, you also memorize. We have like I don't know how to say it correctly in English, but I'll try. Like, you have like vision memory, which you see, and something you hear also. So it's kind of it's work different ways for you. And also we try to switch people who write code, because it's really important. Because if the one person be coding all the time, that this person gonna gonna have good coding skills, but everybody else be like, okay, yeah, it's right. But we try to switch people, who coding. And I think the main key, I think we have really good relationship between team members. We try to respect each other, and it was nice to collaborate with them. Like I really respect everyone who joined meetings, because it was helped me, and I believe, and I want everybody think that way.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So the collaboration, like definitely it's in the school or after joining the company, it is part of, because maybe some students, they are thinking that when they join to the company, they will give them a task. So they will take this task, sit their desk, and they will not talk with anyone. Like sometimes people think that way, but when you join to the company, So it is teamwork. You will understand that you will be collaborating with the people all the time. We have a daily meeting, weekly meetings. We have a lot of meetings during the day. So definitely, like we all the time recommend to the students that they can improve their collaboration skills during the course. And yeah, it's going to be great. And another thing is, let's come to the now interview part. So you finish the course and you start taking the interviews. And how did you like improve yourself while taking the interviews?
Yes, it's a really good question, David. Thank you. It's it's hard, I think, because not every company give you the actual feedback. I mean, of course, you can understand like, okay, if I'm not answering this question, that's where my blind spot, that's where I need to learn, right? That's what I did on the beginning. So I go to interviews, even though I realized that I missed some of the API and database parts. And I decided to finally go because I did stop. I did not go to the market right away after the finish course with Techtorial for the personal issues. And then when I come back, I recapping everything I knew with Java, Selenium, like try to memorize everything. And when I go to interviews, I already knew they will ask some questions which I'm not able to answer. So once they ask those questions, I write them down. For next interview, I prepare, even if I don't know, like, I mean, even if I feel like I don't know a lot about API, but at least I'm able to answer those questions until the next interview. And at time I go through interviews between, I try to do recap on API and database, try to improve myself. So really, I think the best way for everybody is like, you know, I'm a competitive person. I love competitions. I love to be first, but at the same time, you're not supposed to be compare yourself to another person from your batch, from your group, you're supposed to be compare yourself at Monday and at Friday. And that's it. If from Monday to Friday, you didn't learn nothing, then it's questions for you, what you did through this week. I mean, don't overstress yourself at the same time, but you got to be learning something all the time. It's like when you think like it's hard right now at this particular moment to learn coding, just read soft skills. Everything is important. Like read some question on those, and always ask companies for feedback. Doesn't matter how the interviews go, even if you fail like all questions, doesn't matter. Ask them like what they like, what they don't like. Maybe like in my experience, only like 30% of companies gave me feedback when I asked. And you know, not every company give feedback, but this feedback give you an idea what's to improve until, you know, next interview. And yeah, I think I mentioned everything basically.
Awesome. So like some students are saying that we are almost done with the course, but we are afraid to go to market. So what they should do?
I think my
Or
suggestion.
so from your perspective as well, when you finish the course, so did you afraid to go to the market as well? And how did you overcome that?
I've been scared to go to the market even after Java. So, I mean, after like 3 months, of course, I've been scared of market because I spoke to some people who was on market and I've been scared. But my original plan was go to the market like before the finish of the course. So I planned to go like after 5 months, but something changed in my personal situation. So I never did it. You're always gonna be scared to go first. First interviews not gonna be good, probably. I don't know, maybe you luckier than me and you'll be more successful, but my first interviews were bad. Even though I know the answers on on some questions, I was just scared and I like, I mean, I forgot. Even what I know, I forget it. It's okay. You need to get used to the interviews. You need to prepare yourself. You need to go through these first interviews, and then you will realize that it's okay if you don't know something. Yes, you need to improve yourself. You need to learn from interviews to interview. But if you never start, then how are you gonna find a job? Nobody gonna bring you a job and say, hey, because you good guy or girl, here you go to job. Nobody gonna do it. You're gonna find it. You're gonna speak to the people, and everything is important. Don't think like if I know coding, oh, I don't need soft skills. If you don't know soft skills, nobody will ask you for coding. It is true. I know it on my experience also, because I didn't know soft skills well. I go to the market, they asking, even on the first phone calls, they asking more soft skills. Even
Yes.
though they sometimes they ask technical questions, but not a lot. But if you're not able to answer on those questions, nobody gonna send you the invitation for technical part.
Yes. So I guess the one thing that you mentioned, yes, it is. I mean, we mentioned like all those things. It's not easy. So when you go to the market and if you don't have any basically the interview experience previously, so it will be difficult. In the beginning, it will be definitely difficult. Like maybe first couple interviews, maybe first week or maybe first 2 weeks of interviews, it will be difficult. But you will be learning a lot from those interviews. I guess failure is something that we should not afraid that okay, we can fail in one of interviews. Maybe like you mentioned, you will be more excited during the first interview and then you will not be able to answer any question. So there are a lot of, this is a good side, there are a lot of job opportunities. And then when you apply, so you will be like scheduling the I mean, any like even now people are like when they say that hey, market is slow, and they are scheduling 2 interviews a week, right? So this is good, actually, the number for the market when we compare with the other jobs, actually. So that's the thing, like when you fail, so you'll be learning from that interview, you'll be improving, but you also previously mentioned that let's say they ask you the question related with API, so you couldn't answer, you download that as a note, and then you study for that. Next time you were able to answer that questions, right? I guess this is everyone's supposed to do it because they ask you today what is let's say API, what API stands for. So you couldn't answer. Like tomorrow there's another interview. They're asking you same questions, the what's API. If you're not able to answer that question tomorrow, and it like what we learned from the previous interview, what we learned from our failures. This is like, yes, we will fail, but we will also learn something from those interviews as well. And yeah, I think it was like good from your side as well that you did that. Okay,
Can I add something on this one?
sure,
I
sure.
think it's important. Like, yeah, I think it's mentally you're supposed to set up yourself, like to not be sad or mad on your failures and not call these failures, because where you really fail. I mean, David just mentioned, if you don't know something, then you learn something before the next interview, right? So all the time you pick up some more experience. So that means you be more you be more better specialist until the next time, right? So every time you just improve yourself, so you're not losing nothing. And then once you get a job, bam, you win, right? You're a winner. So all the time, I know it's hard. I know in my experience it's hard, but try to stop yourself. Like, let's say if you fail your first, second, fifth interview, say, okay, the interviewer probably had a bad day, not me. I don't want to have a bad day, because this will stop you. If you will feel stress not help you at all. If you will be think that way, like, okay, I failed this interview, but I'll prepare for next one, I'll answer these questions, right? And it's okay, like probably the interviewer had bad days. They didn't hire no one today, right? So I mean, they had a bad day, but you have a good day, you had some experience, right? So
Yes.
for next time, you're already better than the guy who sit and scared to start, right? And I think the other also important thing, because I missed a couple interviews, I've been stressed, I've been scared before go to interviews, and I didn't go to like maybe 5 interviews in my experience, right? So it is, honestly, it is true. And imagine if I go to these interviews, I pick up some knowledge, I know some answers which I answer, so I prepare for next time better, right? I save my time, but I've been just stressed through those days. It's not helped me at all. Yeah, I think I'm finished.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for suggestions. And the other question is, so did you start working in the company
Nope, it's gonna be next Monday,
next
and
month?
yeah, I'm really excited.
So awesome. So you get 2 offers, right, from the companies. I guess it was on same day or like how was it?
Same hour, even same hour. So
Same hours.
yeah, so I received the first offer. I started read through it, and my hand want to sign it right away. I want to click to sign it, and but I stop myself, start reading through the contract. I mean, through the contract, and like after 25 minutes, it's another message come to my mail, and it says the other company also offer me a job. So I was like, I could not believe it happened really, because you know, like my search was tough. I had some personal situation when I dropped my search, then start again. So it's like it was not easy. I go through a lot of interviews, so it was tough experience for me. And I think it's gonna be easier if I have everything okay. You know, like it's gonna be much easier for me. But unfortunately, it was like that. But you know, like at the end of the day, I feel good because I go through all this and finally I find a job. So this is all of this what was for, you know, for this situation when I find a job. So
Awesome. Like you mentioned, sometimes what happens as a student, like through this interview process, they got to some level that they will be able to get an offer. At that time, so they are saying that like, okay, we are doing everything good, but why we are not able to like take an offer? And I all the time mentioned that like, yes, I know you are good. So now, so you are able to answer maybe all the questions. You are good in soft skills, maybe technical skills, because like maybe you spend some time on the interviews on the market. Now, when you get an offer, so like maybe like in couple weeks, you will get like second and third offers as well. So this one happened a lot of times because when you reach into the some level, definitely the students is getting like the other offers and other offers like in a couple of weeks, and then like you mentioned, it's in the same hour even. So it's a good experience.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess last question. What is your advice for the students who is on the market or who is studying now? Like, what will be your final advice for them?
Do I have a time? Because I really
Yeah,
write some notes about this, and
sure.
I have some suggestions. And yeah, I mean, I'll try to read from it. Sorry, guys. I
Okay.
think I can't remember everything, but mhm. Okay, I mean, maybe I'll say something which I already mentioned before. I apologize for it, but I'll just go from the first suggestion to the last one. So like, even if you don't know something, it is okay. You need to go to the interview. You don't need to think like, oh, I need to learn everything and then go to interview. This is wrong. You will never learn everything. You know, like even people who work you know, some certain years in the IT industry, I spoke with some of them, even they sometimes don't know something. It's okay, everybody says that. So try to go to the interview, and the interviews will show you your blind spots. Second suggestion, try to apply most jobs you can. Like some nights, you know, when I apply for jobs, I apply like over than 200 companies for one night. Try to do it right now, even if you're not ready, you feel like you're not ready for an interview, because even like interview processing take a lot of time. Like before the first time, first companies call you, it's maybe take couple days, couple weeks, couple months. Some companies call me after like months and a half. Like I remember names of company, and then I see like they calling me like you know, I remember I sent like back days, you know, my application, and they just call me now. They say they still looking for people. They need a bunch of people. So like it's take a lot of time for them to at least call you, not even invite to interview. So apply as much jobs you can, everything related to the QA. I even apply like QA manager. I'm not QA manager. Believe I'm not good enough for it, right? You know, but once a person call me, I say, do you actually have positions for QAs, like for SDATs? He say, yeah. And we speak, you know, like you never know. So the another thing, you should know your strongest sides. So you need to understand that, yeah, it's a lot of companies, but it's always a lot of people who are looking for jobs, and you need to know your stronger sides. If your soft skills is good, it's good, use it. If your coding is good, use it if you can. If you can bring some, let's say, okay, I also thought about this, like how I gonna be better than another 200 people who apply for this job, right? So even though they didn't give me no homework, right? Sometimes I just go to their website, create like a couple easy tests, and doing like just small automation for it, you know. And I believe like when I come to the interview, they ask their questions, then they give me time, like they say, okay, Alex, you have like 5 to 20 minutes to ask your questions. And I say, okay, I prepared something for you, I got a little demo, right? This, you know, like even though, you know, like first times it was not successful because I did some mistakes in my automation, then before the next time I did it better, and then they finally like it, you know. One of the companies who sent me the job over, one of the interviews after the coding part, they gave me time. They say, hey, you ask your question. I say, instead of asking my questions, can I show you something? They say, okay. And I showed them little demo with little automation about like just couple small tests, and that's it, you know. Like they say, okay, I mean, it's looked pretty good. So I mean, to me, it was nice day. I mean, I always feel okay, you know. But I'm not saying everybody needs to do it. I say use your stronger side. You need to know your stronger side. And also through the interview, if you have a chance to ask more questions, go for it. Like you can turn the interview when you will ask questions. You will not be successful all time with this. Some interviewers know what they're doing, but some of them give you this chance. You know, you start asking questions and they understand like, oh, this person knows something. Okay, he asked me like, now he interviewed me. I mean, it is good also sometimes. Then another thing, try to be confident. Like again, you're supposed to know your stronger side and you're supposed to use it. Like speak about it, you know, like show them you know something, even if they asking like small question, but you know that you can speak more about, like they say, they ask you only about a status code, right? And if you confident with your knowledge, right, you can continue. You say also, you know, like with my API, I sent my requests using CRUD methods. Like you can continue, you can speak something, you confident, be confident, and don't be like shaken. I know first interviews, you for sure you will be nervous, but then once you build your confidence, I don't know, confidency, how to say correct, but you'll be more confident, and you will feel it and you will speak more about it. Then this I mentioned already. Okay. I don't know, like I thought through my first interviews after I failed them, I thought like I'm not deserved, you know, like this, don't let it go to your mind, you know, like you deserve it for sure. You go through whole course, you study hard, you know, every night, every day, like you learn something, and it's okay. You know, even people with experience sometimes not able to get offer quick. You know, like I got my friend, he said like he been working like more than 3 years in a company, and then his searching period was more than 3 months, but he already worked in a company. So don't be stressful, just keep going, keep searching, because it is important to keep doing what you're doing, and you know, keep improving yourself. Oh, another important thing, I think it's like through the interview, like especially with coding, it's good to know what you're doing and explain it. So when you practice coding, after you're done with writing code, try to look at a code again and try to speak about the code, like from the beginning to the end, like everything you did with this, you know, example, right? With this task, like try to speak about everything. It will help you through the interview, because they will ask you, like they say, speak about your code. Sometimes they ask it, right? They say, tell me about this, like what did you do in here, like what is this, what is that, explain me. Try to practice. It's good if you have your group members or someone who can, you know, listen it, you know, so both of you will work for each other, you know. He will learn something from you, you will learn something from him, you know, like work together. It's also helpful. But if you don't have anyone, it's still okay. You just speak about your code, you learn how to explain things, like believe you're a teacher and you teach a student right now, and explain the interviewer what you're doing, you know. I think it's important, because a lot of times they ask to do it. Of course, you don't need to show that you're nervous. you need to smile, you need to be positive through the interview processing, joking, but not a lot, like, because some situations, they always, sometimes the interviewers are nice to you, sometimes they're not nice to you, but it's not mean that this person have problem with you or something. You can turn the whole conversation to the better situation, like when you will be smiling, joking, because sometimes people maybe have some problems, with their families or something, bad day for them, don't judge them, try to be nice, polite, and try to speak with them like very nice. This is my advice. Try to be always positive. It doesn't matter if a person have a bad day, everybody have bad days, right? So me too, everybody. So try to smile more, and because even if you don't know something, they will remember like, oh, this guy was joking about this and I really like him. So hey, you make someone's day better, it's already good too. Oh, if you like, even if you don't know the actual answer on the question, try to at least say something. Like, even if this if this not the actual answer on the question, try to at least say something, mention, try to answer, and if you don't know, say, okay, I will learn it. Like, or sometimes, to the interview, I say like, I mean, I don't know the answer, but I can find it like in 5 minutes. If you give me like a couple of minutes, I'll find it. It's not work all the time, but couple times it was work. They gave me a little time. I find it, just search it, Google it, and that was okay. So yeah, just try to answer something, find something in your memory maybe related to this. Second. So I really recommend to practice every day. I think I mentioned before, like even if you think it's hard to coding, like try to learn some theoretical questions, like try to read some more soft skills, and I think it's really important to know your story. You're supposed to be prepared, like where you've been working, what you did there, like you're supposed to know your resume from A to Z. So you're supposed to know everything. Like if you don't know something in your resume, just clear it. Don't take a chance, because they go through they go on your resume, they find something, they ask you. Find something, they ask you. You're supposed to know your story very well. You're supposed to be prepared for the projects you did, for the framework. Like a bunch of times I faced a question like, can you do a framework from scratch? So I thought it was really important for me to recap about framework, everything, like from beginning, from like dependencies, like create packages, classes, running classes. So like everything, try to go for, try to practice all the time. You're gonna be working IT. You will learn a lot of more after you start working, I believe, because every company use different like languages, different tools. You will need to keep learning again. So try to improve yourself every day. If you have a time, be honest with yourself. If you need to relax, just relax. Don't overstress yourself. Don't overload yourself, because if you're gonna be tired, overtired, then have problem with your healthy, nobody need it. Just feel yourself. If you need to take break, take a break, but then come back. Don't just quit. Just keep learning, keep studying. It will help you, because through the interview process, someone will ask you, you answer like 3 questions, and maybe person say, well, let's speak about yourself, tell me about yourself a little bit more. I had some interviews like that, person ask me like 3 technical questions, then they say, well, I feel like you know something. Let's just speak about what you like to do in your personal time, and this way, like, you improving yourself every day, like read something, learn something. It helped me, because at this period of time I find some answers. I was able to answer those questions. So I think it's really important to have a kind of strategy. I know we're all different. It's all different for everyone, but like have your strategy how you want to, speak on the interview. I don't know, like maybe I'm not the best person to explain it, but I always have something like when I speak, I know where the conversation where I want the conversation go. Like I want to speak more about this part or about that part because I'm more knowledgeable about this. Like even I had a question on an interview, like because I put like 3 companies on my resume, and as they asked me what I did in the first company, and I didn't really had a lot things to say about the first company. I most concentrate on last company in my resume, and I just like start speaking about what I did in my last company, and it was okay. So it was good with it, and I go to the next round. So I mean, try to even like that, right? So try to move the conversation your way. I mean, you always have a chance to do it, because if I'm not answering nothing, because I didn't have answer at that time when they asking, and if you don't answer nothing, they might say, okay, bye-bye. If you cannot even say what you did this company, so I mean, what you can really tell us, more about it. Yeah, I think through my notes, I've been saying about everything. I see some questions. I didn't read through them, but I think guys have some questions in here.
I summarized actually those questions and sent it to you. I asked actually during the time, and so I guess like there's a how did you practice your hard skills after course? And there's a one question this.
Can you repeat the question? Like hard
So how
skills?
did you? I guess like technical skills. Like how did you keep continue to practice? I guess maybe you also mentioned that one, right? And you like before the interview, you did some automation for their website, and then or for other websites that you show. I guess those are some practice that it might be.
Those and also like I go to the like coding bed, like try to do some exercises, try to read through the code I wrote before on Replit. So I try to like try to analyze, like even if I don't feel like I'm gonna write code right now, I just go read it and try to explain what is going on to just make sure I remember everything, so I can explain on an interview. And even if you don't feel like you want to write a code, just look at it, go through Java, exercises, because you can, okay, I have another good example. So the interviewer asked me to reverse a string. I did a code, and he asked me to write it in main method, and I forget how to write the main method. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm not totally forget, then I remember and I write it, but he's seen how did I wrote the code. So it was like, he's seen every step. So he understand that when I start running the, main method, start writing the main method, I had a problem. So, but through the whole interview, I answered all questions and it was good. And I was like, oh my gosh, like how you can be, how you can forget this, you answer everything, everything goes good, and you forget this. And the person say, okay, I see you have a little problems with the automation, but with coding, and how about like manual testing position? Are you good? I mean, want to try to? I say yes, and I go to another interviews, and then it was like a lot of questions like how gonna you test in vending machine, how you gonna test in lift, and everything, and and I failed on this one also, and then I come back stronger. So just keep going. You not losing nothing. You just pick up more knowledge every time, every step. You just keep going. You don't need to stop. Everything is possible. I believe I'm not the best. I'm not the smarter guy from my batch. Not at all. I try to do my best, and I'm not comparing myself to anyone else. I compare myself on Monday and myself on Friday. Like if these 2 people is different, it's good because I learned something.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, this one is a very great suggestion for the people. And so I want to add actually some things to your suggestions, or like give some examples. I say you said that like you were preparing some demo for the company before going to the interview, right? And so doing doing demo, you said you did demo for them. I also like hear from someone else as well, like recently. So what happened, like during the first interview, I guess it was his first interviews. So when they ask the question or something and he said, okay, let me do demo for you guys. And then like he prepared something for their website. Just he go to their website, he prepared some presentation for the company. He just started to talk about the company. Okay, what you do guys and what's this, what's that. So he started to talk and then he got an offer from the company. It was, I guess, like doing those kind of things or maybe different things because like doing different things, it catch the eyes. So, and also he got another person got an interview because most of the people was sending their resume with the regular, right, with Word document, and he prepared some website for that and then sent like this website link. And then they said that like between this maybe like 50 applicants, only your resume was different than the others. Then we basically schedule an interview with you. Like doing, I think, is something different. It will be great for the interviews. But also another thing, everyone has different strategy. Everyone has different experiences. And like there is no, like even the classes, right? We mentioned that, hey, in some companies, Scrum meetings, one sprint is 1 week. For some companies, it is 2 weeks. Maybe for some companies, it will be 1 month. So there is no like one correct answer for that. It can be possibly for all of them. So like this is the same. Everyone has their own strategies. Everyone is able to find a job with that way. Which it will help them. The second thing is talking during the interview coding questions, right? So like this is, I guess, important thing. Like whatever, if you are not able to, if you don't know explanation for the code that you are writing, maybe you'll know the solution, how to print the Fibonacci numbers using the Java. You know the solution, you memorize it. But if you don't know why you use for loop in there, why you use this, like the combining two numbers each other, you just read, like even just reading what you are typing. Hey, public static void main for integer I, like, so you are not talking about logic, but you are just talking about what you are typing. It will be better than it is not speaking. Instead of like just, okay, let's look at this one. I'm just typing something, but you don't know like what I'm typing, or I'm typing and I'm explaining you, hey, public static void main, which one will be better? Imagine that like now in this conversation, we are almost 1 hour talking with each other. And then when they ask you the coding question, you are quiet, you are typing something, but everything is quiet. It will be actually a different, strange environment in this case. If you stop talking now, imagine that I am typing something, you are seeing what I am typing, but no one is talking. And it will be strange, right? So that's why at least just read what you're typing. It will be another thing. Definitely, like even when we do the interview for the people, like what we do, we just open their resume and go each line what they type, right? In each line, each the sentences. So then ask the question. So if someone like put in their resume, hey, I do Selenium automation for the web application using the Maven like dependencies, something like that. My question, when I see this sentence, I'll ask, okay, how do you do that one? How do you do Selenium automation with Maven dependencies? Just explain the process to me. Like I will go each line. Another suggestion, it might be like just read before going to the market, or after you go to the market, even like read your resume and then know what you put it. And so it will be great. Searching new things all the time. Like IT is something that every time the new technologies are coming to the market, every time new tools, new implementations, or like, yes, we are using maybe WhatsApp, like last 10 years, we are using WhatsApp. But WhatsApp, it is not the same like WhatsApp we used in the beginning, like 10 years ago. So we were able to send only message, but now we are able to send message, pictures, PDFs, voice call, video call, whatever, stories, so we can do in WhatsApp. Same thing, even let's say that was a Java, but Java is improved. There was a Selenium is improved. So then it is searching new things, or like searching the tools and etc. It will be another thing. And talking, even though it is wrong, you mentioned that one, right? So you ask it to the previous company, but you start talking about this company, or they ask like something else. Like, it doesn't matter. This is also another good thing. Like instead of not talking, and talking and mentioning something, it will be great all the time. And also, like I also face this one, like you know the correct thing, and the interviewer doesn't know the correct thing, and I'm telling that, hey, this is like what I am telling, it is correct, right? We can test if you want. So like he's saying that no, it's not correct. You are telling the like it's not going to be the result. I said like one time during the interview, I said, okay, let's do this one. Let's go to the now let's say IntelliJ, write this code, and we write it together, and we see the result. So my result was correct. So then they definitely hire. So like just talking and explaining, it will be great. If you are sure, like what you are telling, and then you're supposed to be sure. So if you are sure, do not afraid to tell, like mention those things.
Be confident. Yep.
Yes, being confident. Okay, I guess we can end this session in here. So for me, I see a lot of benefits. It was great conversation with you, Alex. You give a lot of good suggestions to the students and advices, and I'm pretty sure that like for me it was helpful, and I also learned a lot of things from you, and the students hopefully they learn a lot as well. And thank you so much for attending today's session.
Appreciate it. Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody. I was glad to share my experience because it was not, that easy for me because my personal things, but I was able to find a job. It is nice feeling to find a job. It's worth it, guys. I really wish you all of you good luck on your search. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I don't know if I mean, yeah, you are able in Alumni. Yeah, please ask if you have any questions about your interviews or something. Maybe I will able to help you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And yes.